So good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. We are from Indonesia, and today we are going to present in the International Conference on the Future of Education, IConFED 2020. Today, I'm Francisca Maria Ivone from Universitas Negeri Malang. I'm with two of my ex-team colleagues, Gusti Nur Hafifah from Universitas Muhammadiyah, Surabaya, and Roghibatul Lutfiyyah from Universitas Swadaya, Gunung Jati, Cirebon. Today, we are going to share with you our presentation with the title of Technology Use in Secondary Level of English Language Teaching, a Literature Review. And here is the outline of our presentation. We are going to start with an introduction, and then we are going to identify some research gap that we can see within the context of technology use in secondary education, especially in the context of ELT. And after that, we are going to share with you our research questions, research method, and findings, as well as discussion. We will end the presentation with a conclusion and some suggestions. So I'm going to hand the floor to my colleague, Gusti Hafifah, who is going to tell us a bit about our study.
Thank you, Bu Ivone. So there is a growing body of literature that recognizes the importance of technology in English language teaching in the 21st era of education. Many studies reveal the effectiveness of technology-based support application in enhancing ELT activities in any levels of education. And some studies revealed that technology is effective in improving students' English skills. As we can see on the screen, some research finding proved that technology applied in ELT able to enhance reading and vocabulary skill, writing, speaking, and also listening skill. And the next slide, along with the increasing interest and number of publications, several studies have been conducted reviewing the use of technology application and devices for ELT. Some studies were focusing on literature review, reviewing some applications such as Kahoot, digital-based application, and also Facebook. There are also some conceptual papers that promoting and proposing new ideas of technology application. They propose some technological device like iPad, the use of ebook, and also portfolio. Most of the articles that we found, the research were focusing on higher education level with the topic on TPD program, teacher and students' perspective, students' motivation and autonomous learning, technology applications such as webcast, hypertext, and so on and so forth. And there are also some studies were conducted in primary level. However, we came up to a research gap after seeing all this trend. There are still limited study which focusing the study or the research on secondary level of ELT, especially focusing on the empirical study of examining the technology use itself in ELT context. So therefore, we come up to our research question. The first one, we want to know what are the research trends on technology use in secondary level of ELT, which published in 2015 until 2020. And the second one, we want to know what are the types, purposes of technology supported ELT in secondary level. And we will also discuss the challenges and solutions of using technology in secondary level of ELT. And this is a literature review. So we have several phases of method. The first one is journal selection. In journal selection, we use reputable databases to find the reputable journals. So we use Science Direct, Eric, Taylor Francis, Elsevier, and J. Wiley, and we downloaded all the articles during September until October 2020. And those are the list of journals that we are referring to. And the second phase was article selection. So we use keywords, technology use, ELT, and secondary level. And we came into 1,299 articles. From those 1,299 articles, we screen them and we exclude articles which contain teachers and students' perspective, policy of technology integration in ELT. We also exclude the literature review articles and non-secondary level articles. So we came into 108 articles and we still do another selection. So we focus on the articles which contain the empirical study that examine the technology implementation in secondary level of ELT. So in this study, we examine and we analyze 57 articles. And the third phase is the data analysis. So we use we analyze the data based on these several themes. The first one is based on the research purpose, research method, the research subject, types of technology, devices, and application, the benefits of the technology used in ELT, and also we analyze the problems and the solutions that is being discussed in the articles. And for the next slide, we go to our colleague, Bu Roghibatul Lutfiyyah.
Thank you, Ibu Gusti, for the time. And now I'm going to present the findings and discussions. And the findings will be delivered based on the research question we have. There are three. The first is the trends in technology use in secondary level of English language teaching. And the data that we are going to present it is about the year of publications, research method, and research subject. And then the second is types and purposes of technology supported English language teaching. So the data presented will be technology types, language skills, purpose of technology use, and benefits of tech tools. And the last is about the challenges and solutions in technology use in English language. So the data is about the challenges and solution we encountered from the reviewed articles. So we go to the first data, is about the year of publications. As we can see here that there is a growing interest of conducting a research in technology use in secondary level of ELT. In 2015, we have 6 articles publications, and in the end of 2020, there are 14 articles of publications. And then for the second data is about research method. Since our reviewed article is our study is only included the empirical studies, so we try to classify the research method into 3. The first is quantitative, qualitative, and mixed method. And we can see here that the dominant method used by the researcher is the quantitative, followed by mixed method, and the last one is the qualitative research method. For the next data is about the research subject. From the reviewed articles, the researcher selected or involved the research subject from students and teachers, and the majority is students, and then followed by the teacher, and only one article tried to involve both students and teachers to get the 2 different perspectives in examining the device. And then for the next data is about technology types. We try to classify them into 4 kinds of technology types: mobile learning apps, game-based apps, web-based applications, and technology-based social media. And the vast majority of technology types here is the mobile learning apps. It refers to a mobile applications that usually the students have, and it's owned by the student as the personal digital assistant for learning. And then for the data for the language skills and component used in the reviewed articles, the most dominant one is writing, followed by vocabulary, and and for the listening skills is still rare to be found in the reviewed articles. And then we go to the functions of technology used in ELT. There are at least 4 functions of technology implementation in ELT. The first is the researcher use technology as the learning activities tools, and then followed by student exercise worksheet tools, and also assessment and providing feedback tools. And the last one is technology function as the material delivery media. And then for the next is the benefits of technology use. So after the researcher implemented the technology in their teaching context, and they get the benefits of the technology, surprisingly, the benefits of technology is the more effective by the technology is the students' motivations rather than the student achievement. And it also have the advantages in the collaboration, in collaborative work, facility, and also it can encourage engagement, student engagement, and student self-esteem. And technology also can provide the authentic context for learning. For the next data is about the challenges and solutions. Challenges in implementation here comes from the student side, teacher sides, and also the technology itself, and also the policy. Unfortunately, there are 29 out of 57 articles did not mention any challenges in the implementations. And then the last is about the solutions toward the challenges that we found. So for the teachers and students obstacles, the researcher tried to give solutions or suggest a solution by giving the training for the student and teachers. And then for the limitations of technology, the obstacles related to limitation of technology, the researcher suggests to make or create the improvement in the technology tools. And then for the policy issues, they suggest to give the policy adjustment. Okay, and now I will pass the microphone back to Ibu Ivone.
Okay, thank you, Bu Lutfi. Now, what we can conclude from this study is that we observe that in terms of level of education coverage, empirical studies on the use of technology in secondary ELT level is sparse compared to those conducted in higher and elementary level. So that's the first one that we noticed. And next, we notice also that most of the studies that we have reviewed attempted to present technology integration by providing specific pedagogical setting, which are highly prescriptive, instead of reviewing the use of technology in real learning and teaching context. Our findings also unveils that that the study on technology use in ELT context contributes rich information on students' learning strategies and effects, such as learning motivation, and then engagement, collaborative work as well. But we lack information on the improvement of students' learning outcome. And the last one, our studies also, the studies that we reviewed did not offer innovative solutions to common problems in relation to teacher, student, technology, and policy challenges. And this is something that we still need to research in the future, we believe. Now, some recommendation that we can offer to future researchers are that we suggest that future studies of technology use in ELT in secondary context involve both teachers and students as research participants, so that we can obtain better insights from two different perspectives. We also suggest that future studies conduct qualitative and mixed method research, because quantitatively, we have known a lot about the use of technology in ELT, but not much from the qualitative perspectives. And finally, we also suggest future researchers to take into account pedagogical aspects on the technology integration study in a less laboratory-like study. So in other words, we need to know more of what happens in real language teaching and learning context, so that we can better understand the use of technology in various teaching and learning contexts, of course. And that's all from us three. If you want to contact us, we can be contacted using those email addresses. So goodbye, everyone. Lots of love from Indonesia.